Emma Collins was the rising star of the fashion world, admired by millions. But behind her flawless image, she hid a life-changing secret that could destroy everything she'd worked for. What happened when that secret was finally exposed? Emma Collins was a name on the rise in the competitive world of fashion modeling. From a young age, she had dreamed of walking on the biggest runways and appearing in top magazines. Her tall frame, flawless complexion, and striking features made her a natural in front of the camera. By the time she was 22, Emma had already landed several major contracts and was becoming a familiar face at international fashion shows. Yet beneath her polished exterior, she carried a secret that could have destroyed her career if ever revealed. Emma's battle began years earlier when she was just 17. She was diagnosed with a rare digestive disorder that required her to undergo surgery and wear an ostomy bag, a medical device that collects waste from the body after parts of the intestine are removed or bypassed. For many, such a condition would be life-changing enough. But for Emma, it was more than a health challenge. It was a secret she feared would end her dreams. The fashion industry was known for its rigid standards of beauty and perfection, and Emma believed revealing her condition would mean rejection and ridicule. Determined not to let her illness define her, Emma learned how to conceal her ostomy bag expertly. She wore specially tailored clothing and used clever poses to hide the medical device whenever she was on set or the runway. Every photo shoot was a delicate balancing act. She practiced moving in ways that kept the bag out of sight and chose outfits that disguised any sign of her condition. Only a handful of people in her life knew the truth, and they admired her courage and resilience. Emma's ability to maintain her secret while managing the physical and emotional difficulties of her condition spoke to her strength. Despite her outward success, Emma's private life was filled with challenges. Managing her health required constant vigilance. Special diets, medications, and the emotional toll of living with a condition that most people didn't understand. The fear of exposure added a layer of stress that few could imagine. She felt isolated, trapped between two worlds, one glamorous and public, the other private and vulnerable. The pressure to appear perfect at all times weighed heavily on her, but Emma was determined to prove that her condition didn't make her any less capable or beautiful. Her career continued to grow, and soon she was invited to walk in high-profile fashion weeks around the world. She made friends and allies, but remained careful about who she trusted. The fashion industry could be harsh and unforgiving, and rumors spread quickly. Emma feared that if her secret leaked, she would be judged harshly or lose valuable contracts. Still, she refused to give up on her passion. She pushed through the pain, the exhaustion, and the anxiety, focusing on her goals. The more she succeeded, the more she felt the weight of her secret pressing down on her. As Emma's fame increased, the risks grew greater. One small mistake could unravel everything she had worked for. The hidden ostomy bag was a vulnerability she carried every day, a secret she guarded like a precious treasure. Yet beneath the surface, a storm was quietly brewing. Unknown to Emma, forces were already at work that would threaten to expose her secret and change her life forever. The perfect image she had crafted was fragile, and soon cracks would begin to show, revealing a truth the world was not prepared for. Emma's journey was only just beginning, and the challenges ahead would test her strength in ways she never imagined. Rumors began to swirl online, sparked by an anonymous social media account that hinted at a famous model hiding a significant health issue. The account posted vague hints, causing speculation within fashion circles and among fans. The mysterious posts created a sense of suspense, with followers trying to guess which model was behind the whispers. Emma Collins, who had carefully guarded her secret for years, suddenly found herself at the center of this growing storm. Though no name was mentioned, those who knew her personally started to worry about what might happen if the secret was uncovered. The fashion agency that managed Emma became increasingly uneasy as the rumors gained traction. They tried to contain the damage by tightening security around Emma and advising her to be cautious. However, social media had a way of spiraling beyond control. Emma's usual careful control over her image was slipping. Just weeks later, at a major international fashion event, a wardrobe malfunction nearly revealed her ostomy bag. In the chaos backstage, a zipper on her designer dress came undone at a critical moment. Quick-thinking assistants tried to cover her, but a sharp-eyed photographer caught the moment from a distance. The photograph captured by the photographer was subtle but enough to spark curiosity, an outline under Emma's dress that did not fit the usual silhouette. It didn't take long before the image was shared widely online and analyzed by fans and bloggers alike. Some praised Emma's courage, guessing she was managing a health issue, while others were more invasive, speculating wildly about what she might be hiding. The photo quickly became a topic of headlines, and Emma's private life was thrust into the spotlight. The very secret she had fought so hard to protect was now the subject of public discussion. Amid the growing media frenzy, Emma withdrew from public appearances. She canceled upcoming shows and stopped posting on social media. The pressure was overwhelming, and she needed time to gather her thoughts. Yet behind the scenes, not everyone was sympathetic. The competitive nature of the fashion world meant that some saw this as an opportunity. A rival model, known for her ambition and willingness to push boundaries, saw Emma's vulnerability as a chance to gain advantage. It wasn't just about career rivalry, it was about power and control in a world that could be unforgiving. The rival began to dig deeper, using connections and inside information to uncover more about Emma's condition. Whispers of betrayal started circulating, hinting that someone close to Emma might have leaked private details. The agency launched an internal inquiry, trying to find the source of the leak, but the investigation revealed tangled loyalties and backstabbing within the team. Meanwhile, fans and the public were divided, some expressing support and empathy for Emma's struggle, others cruelly criticizing her for keeping secrets. Emma's world felt like it was unraveling. The scandal was no longer just about a medical condition. It was a fight for her dignity, her career, and her privacy. The fashion industry's obsession with perfection clashed with the reality of human vulnerability. As the rumors and accusations grew, Emma realized that the battle was not only external, but deeply personal. The secret she had hidden for years was now exposed to millions, and the consequences were more complicated than she had ever imagined. What began as subtle hints on social media had turned into a full-blown crisis, threatening to change everything Emma had worked for. The public reaction to Emma's secret was a whirlwind of emotions, ranging from sympathy to harsh judgment. Many admired her bravery for continuing to pursue a demanding career despite her medical condition. Support groups and health advocates praised her, seeing her as a symbol of resilience for those living with chronic illnesses. Articles and opinion pieces discussed how Emma's story challenged unrealistic beauty standards in fashion and society. However, not all responses were kind. Some critics accused her of dishonesty, claiming that by hiding her ostomy bag, she had misled fans and clients. The debate about transparency versus privacy in the public eye raged on, placing Emma under intense scrutiny. Meanwhile, sponsors and brands who had once supported Emma began to rethink their partnerships. In an industry where image was everything, some companies worried about the potential backlash. Offers were withdrawn or put on hold, and Emma faced an uncertain future professionally. This reaction deepened her sense of isolation, making it harder to trust those around her. The modeling world's ruthless nature became painfully clear. The very people who once celebrated her success now questioned her worth. Emma's carefully crafted career was crumbling under the weight of public opinion and commercial pressures. Behind closed doors, Emma was battling not only the stress of public exposure, but also the physical challenges of managing her health. The ostomy bag was not simply a hidden device. It was a daily reality filled with discomfort, adjustments, and reminders of her vulnerability. The emotional toll was heavy, yet Emma remained determined to take control of her narrative. She refused to be defined by fear or shame. Instead, she started reaching out to medical experts, patient advocates, and those living with similar conditions. This new community gave her strength and a renewed sense of purpose. As the scandal unfolded, a darker truth came to light. An investigation revealed that Emma's secret had not been exposed by accident or careless gossip. Evidence showed that someone close to her had deliberately leaked information to the media. Suspicion fell on a rival model known for her envy and cutthroat ambition. This rival had quietly gathered private details by hacking Emma's personal communications and bribing insiders. The revelation shocked the fashion industry, exposing a hidden world of sabotage and betrayal. It became clear that Emma was not just a victim of circumstance, but a target of malicious intent. This discovery shifted public perception once again. Sympathy for Emma grew, and the rival's reputation suffered severe damage. The scandal highlighted the toxic competition within the modeling world, where personal secrets became weapons. Emma A.'s story now symbolized not only a fight against illness, but a struggle against cruelty and injustice. Legal actions were taken against the rival, and industry leaders began calling for stricter protections for models' privacy and well-being. Emma's courage in facing these challenges sparked wider conversations about ethics and humanity in fashion. Amid the turmoil, Emma made a pivotal decision. She chose to speak openly about her condition and experiences, breaking the silence that had surrounded her for so long. By sharing her story, she aimed to inspire others to embrace their vulnerabilities and challenge stigma. The journey was difficult, filled with setbacks and moments of doubt, but Emma's resilience shone through. Her ordeal had transformed her from a hidden secret into a powerful advocate for truth and acceptance. The path ahead was uncertain, but Emma was ready to face it with honesty and strength, proving that sometimes the greatest battles lead to the most meaningful victories. The fallout from the betrayal sent shockwaves through the fashion community. When evidence surfaced that the rival model had orchestrated the leak of Emma's private medical information, the industry was forced to confront a dark and ruthless side of its glamorous facade. The rival's tactics were exposed. She had hacked into Emma's personal emails and texts, bribed agency insiders, and manipulated staff to gather incriminating details. This revelation stunned many, showing just how far some individuals were willing to go in their pursuit of fame and power. What was supposed to be a world of beauty and creativity had, beneath the surface, become a battleground of deceit and manipulation. The public, who had initially been divided, largely turned in Emma's favor once the full story emerged. The rival model's reputation quickly crumbled, her name associated with treachery and dishonesty. Sponsors and fashion houses that had distanced themselves from Emma rushed to offer support. The narrative shifted from scandal to victimization, highlighting the cruelty Emma had endured. Legal action followed swiftly. Emma filed lawsuits for invasion of privacy, defamation, and emotional distress, determined to hold those responsible accountable. The court battles were intense and public, drawing significant media attention and putting a spotlight on the darker aspects of the fashion industry. Inside the courtroom, shocking details came to light about the cutthroat nature of modeling careers. Testimonies revealed a culture where competition often turned toxic, and personal information was weaponized. The trial ignited broader discussions about the ethical responsibilities of agencies, photographers, and media outlets. Industry leaders began pushing for reforms to protect models from exploitation and abuse. Emma's case became a catalyst for change, inspiring organizations to create stronger support systems for models with health issues and those facing harassment. The scandal prompted calls for transparency and compassion in an industry notorious for its harsh standards. While the legal fight raged on, Emma chose to focus on healing and advocacy. She realized that her painful experience could serve a greater purpose. Partnering with health organizations, she began speaking publicly about living with chronic illness and the challenges faced by people with invisible disabilities. Emma's openness helped reduce stigma and encouraged others to share their stories. She used her platform to educate both the fashion world and the general public, challenging outdated notions of beauty and strength. Her transformation from secret keeper to outspoken advocate inspired many, highlighting the power of vulnerability and authenticity. Despite the personal and professional turmoil, Emma's resilience never wavered. The betrayal could have destroyed her, but instead, it fueled her determination to reshape the narrative. She worked tirelessly to rebuild her career on her own terms, embracing her identity rather than hiding it. The fashion industry began to take notice as other models and celebrities followed her example, revealing their own struggles and pushing for greater inclusivity. Emma's influence grew beyond fashion, touching on important social issues around health, privacy, and self-acceptance. The once hidden ostomy bag, a symbol of what Emma feared would be her downfall, became a sign of courage and defiance. Her story was no longer just about survival, but about transformation. The scandal that had threatened to end her career instead opened doors to new opportunities and deeper respect. Emma had turned betrayal into a breakthrough, proving that even in the most cutthroat worlds, honesty and strength could triumph. The journey was far from over, but Emma's legacy was already taking shape, one of bravery, resilience, and change. Years passed since Emma Collins's secret was revealed to the world, and her story had evolved far beyond the initial scandal. The once fragile and hidden truth about her ostomy bag became a powerful symbol of resilience and authenticity. Emma had transformed from a model who feared judgment into a public figure who inspired countless people. Her decision to share her journey openly sparked a shift in the fashion industry and beyond, encouraging a culture of acceptance for those living with chronic illnesses and invisible disabilities. The impact of her courage reached far beyond the runway. Emma's memoir, published a few years after the scandal, offered a detailed and heartfelt account of her struggles and triumphs. It became a bestseller, resonating with readers worldwide. In the book, Emma did not just recount the challenges of hiding her medical condition, but also celebrated the moments of growth and empowerment that came with embracing her true self. Her honesty helped break down walls of stigma and misunderstanding, inviting conversations about health, identity, and the pressures faced by people in highly visible careers. The memoir solidified Emma's role not only as a model, but as a respected advocate and role model. The fashion industry, influenced by Emma's example, began to change. Agencies started implementing policies to support models with health issues, offering better healthcare, counseling, and privacy protections. Fashion shows became more inclusive, featuring models of different body types, abilities, and backgrounds. Emma collaborated with designers to create clothing lines that combined style with comfort and adaptability for people with medical devices like ostomy bags. Her work helped bridge the gap between fashion and real life, making style more accessible and humane. Emma's rival model, who had orchestrated the leak, faced lasting consequences. Legal rulings and industry backlash ended her career, and she faded from the public eye. The scandal served as a cautionary tale about the dangers of envy and deceit. Yet Emma chose not to dwell on revenge or bitterness. Instead, she focused on building a future grounded in positivity and change. Her journey was a reminder that even when betrayal strikes, forgiveness and growth can pave the way forward. Emma also extended her influence through public speaking engagements and partnerships with health organizations. She worked tirelessly to raise awareness about digestive diseases and the importance of mental health support for those living with chronic conditions. Emma's advocacy reached schools, hospitals, and fashion events alike, inspiring others to speak openly about their own experiences. Her message was clear. Nobody should have to hide their struggles to be accepted or successful. Her efforts helped reduce fear and discrimination, empowering many to live authentically. Looking back, Emma knew that the secret she once kept out of fear had become the cornerstone of her legacy. The challenges she faced and the scandal that once threatened to ruin her had, in fact, shaped her into a stronger, wiser person. The fashion world she re-entered was more compassionate and inclusive, in part because of her courage. Emma's story was a testament to the power of vulnerability, showing that true strength lies in embracing imperfections rather than hiding them. Her journey from secrecy to openness inspired not only those in fashion, but anyone facing their own hidden battles. Emma Collins had become more than a model. She had become a symbol of hope and change. The ostomy bag she once feared would be her downfall was now a mark of survival and courage. Her story, filled with unexpected twists and hard-won victories, proved that authenticity could break barriers and transform lives. Emma's legacy continues to inspire people to be brave, to fight stigma, and to live their truth without apology. In the end, her secret was never a weakness. It was the very thing that made her story unforgettable.